Good morning, Alphachain. Ben Thornywork here, winner of the $1 Million Trader Challenge, with my previous week of trading activity. As usual, I will go through two of my winners and two of my losers and highlight some of the things that I've struggled with, some of the lessons that I've learnt in my previous week. The first trade that I'd like to show you was a with trend trade on the dollar yen. Throughout the day, we'd been forming this nice downtrend in a channel, and I got in here when I started noticing a few pin bars forming this kind of level of resistance, and as price retraced and moved back to the upside, failed to make a higher high, formed a doji, and that's where I got in. Quite a bit of a tight stop just above this doji here, hoping to maximize a decent risk to reward ratio. Unfortunately, this was just a bit of bad timing. As you can see, price continued to move higher and hit my stop. The level of resistance did kind of hold. It was just bad timing for me. So yeah, that was the first losing trade that I wanted to show you. I learned a few lessons from that, which I'll go through shortly. The next losing trade I'm going to show you a very similar story on the Euro Swissy. Again, a nice downtrend forming this channel, and I got in as price touched the resistance line, formed another doji, and I placed my stop just above. But again, the market continued to move to the upside. It looks like that this was the end of the trend. As they say, the trend is your friend until the end. So this again was just bad timing. So yeah, two of my losers. Next, I'm going to show you two of my winning trades. So the first one was the dollar CAD. This trade here, last thing on Friday, price broke out of the channel, came back into the channel, and then came back out again, broke the channel for the second time, and formed an area of consolidation. So when the markets opened on Sunday last night, I noticed that the price had gapped and opened above this line of resistance, forming a role reversal trade. So this resistance became support. So I opened a long position, a counter trend trade to hold overnight. I recently closed this out this morning. I think that was about £16 profit. I don't usually like to hold on to the counter trend trades for too long. Just get in and out, take a nice 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And then the final trade I'm going to show you is my best trade to date. And this was a breakout trade. I noticed this corrective structure forming Friday morning. I think I noticed it about here, and I sat and watched it for about 2 hours. So price is consolidating in this triangular pattern, and as you can see here, it started to break out and then made a break to the downside, which signaled to me that the bearish bias was in play, and then price retraced back in, which did signal that it may have been a false break, but then failed to make a higher high, and then continued to consolidate in this area here, which again signaled to me that we were in a bearish bias. So that's where I got in with my stop level just above this high here. And yeah, so price did move to the downside as expected, and I took a nice run of about 80 pips here. I kind of just followed price really with my stop loss. Every time we made a new low, I would just bring my stop loss down and follow the trade in this fashion until my stop loss was triggered at the end of the trend, which was here. I could have kind of got into this again, maybe, but I always think this was a bit of a risky trade. It could have continued with the trend. So yeah, 2 winners, 2 losers. Some of the lessons I learned this week, especially with the dollar yen loss, was managing the stop loss too tight. I mean, I should have placed the stop loss above this line of resistance, but I wanted to get a higher risk to reward ratio. So yeah, I mean, I think maybe that was a bit of greed in play, and also maybe a bit of fear of missing out. And not only did I kind of rush into this trade, I placed my stop too close to the actual opening position as well. If I would have just held out for a little bit longer and had a bit more patience, I could have got in at a nice point in this trend and taken a nice long run there. So I was very disappointed that I didn't catch this trade. Yeah, so that was a big lesson that I learned. Rushing, patience. So on a positive note, the account is back into positive equity. I've recovered from the drawdown last week. Yeah, so things are starting to look up again. I was a bit disappointed last week when I ran into some drawdown, but I made a decent recovery last week. So yeah, hopefully next week I'll have some better stories to tell. Until then, happy trading, and I will speak to you soon.